Pretty sure we're live right now.
Fantastic.
Hey,
it's always good to be live.
Yeah. Okay, so this is webinar number 4, and we're talking about how to set up sales funnels for your business. We're not talking directly about how to set up your sales page as such, or to do your copy, but the actual funnel which drives people to the business.
Structure of how the funnel works. So the first question I guess you have to ask yourself is, what is a sales funnel? And it can be pretty much anything. If you've got a market stall, your sales funnel is the people walking past. Because we specialize in software development and website development, we're going to be talking about online sales funnels. But the sales funnel concept is the same regardless of whether it's online or whether it's your corner store. The sales funnel is a sales strategy. So it's something designed to attract a large pool of potential customers and to systematically qualify them through a number of steps to a point where you're left with those who actually buy from you. So the sales funnel starts wide, and as you qualify them down, you eventually get to the pointy end of the funnel, which is where your customers come from. They're your repeat customers. So we'll talk about the steps that you use to set that up and some of the psychology behind sales funnels today. So Paul's the expert on this. I just write the stuff.
And hello, Paul Weeks. How you going? Tonight we've got a meetup group too on the Gold Coast. So yes. If you're on the Gold Coast, have a look on Digital Go-Getters and Entrepreneur on the Gold Coast for the meetup groups.
On Facebook, yep.
On Facebook as well. In our Facebook group, we've got the promotions in there. And we've actually got a really good speaker on there at the moment. So that's a plug for this morning.
Yep.
For tonight. Hey, Penelope. Penelope I met just the other day. She's doing part of the social media course with me.
Okay.
Anyway, back onto the sales funnel because we've got half an hour to get through this and lots of other stuff happening as well. Hey, Ash, how you going? From Oakley, Brisbane. Nice. Anyway, so if you imagine a household funnel with a wide mouth at the top, and the mouth of the funnel is step 1. So that's your broadest market that you can get in into your process of closing a sale.
Yeah, well, it's your scattergun marketing. It's telling people about where you are and how to contact you. So that first step of the funnel is the widest place that you can gain a pool of potential customers from. So think of it as your landing page on your website, for argument's sake, and your Facebook marketing and Google marketing ad campaigns. They're the things that create the top of your funnel. They're the ones that attract people to you and tell people that you exist, which is always a good start in business.
And the big thing here is don't get too picky. Like if you want to bring customers in, you can't try and select them down to the narrow end of the funnel straight away. The broader this goes, the better it is. And it doesn't even have to be a sell. Like it can be a giveaway item.
Yep.
It can be something just to entice them to interact with your business or with you, so they get to know who you are.
Well, that's true. At that first point of contact, that first impression is what you say to your customer that turns them from a suspect into a prospect. I know that's kind of a corny term, but when they're first looking, they have no idea what you're selling, and you need to give them something that creates a first impression, and you get one chance at that. So it's where you encourage them to give you their contact details in exchange for something that's of value to them. That might be an ebook, and we've got one of those up on our webpage on the landing page.
Yep.
Or a discount voucher or a code for a unique offer or something that's of potential value to them down the track.
Yeah. So it's got to be of value. Like you can't just give them rubbish. You can't give photographs of a dog or a pretty picture of your backyard.
Could be a cool dog.
And I know some people have presented those sort of things like, oh yeah, I do pictures of sunsets on your birthday. It's like, oh yeah, it sounds really cool and sounds all nice and warm, but people won't buy it. I know that because people tell me.
I know a guy who set up a business taking photos of sunsets and trying to sell people to them on their birthday, and he doesn't do it anymore. Big surprise. Steve Anderson, if you're out there, hi.
So your sales funnel, one of the simplest ways to set that up is just a page on your website. If you don't have a website, you can use a number of different products out there. Ontraport, lead pages, ClickFunnels. There's a whole plethora of them which will actually set up a page for you. You don't actually have to host it yourself, but you do need to write your own copy.
Yes.
So they don't provide you copy. So your copy for actually convincing them to sign up with you, you'll have to write that. You can hire people to do it. And
it's always a good idea if you're not good with words.
Especially if you're dyslexic like someone else, I know. It shouldn't stop you though. Like the general gist of what you're trying to say and, the benefit of your product to them, can be even verbal. A video introduction is really good. Recording a video and putting it up on your page isn't hard these days. It's really, Really easy. And Marie, I know Marie writes a lot of copy. She's very, very good at it as well.
Grab her. You'll find her on our webpage. I do that sort of thing, but I really don't have time for it. But people like Marie are very good at it. Yeah. What the purpose of this first stage of the sales funnel is, this step one, is to gain some contact details. So you sell something in exchange for their name, their telephone number, if you can, and their email address. And that's a pretty standard sign-up page on a sales funnel landing page.
And if you're serious about it, the mailing list one is gold. You own that.
Yep.
Now, a lot of people think that, they've got an account with Facebook or, some other social media account. They can actually get shut off at any time. And you can lose access to tens of thousands of customers or potential customers just in the blink of an eye because someone doesn't like what you've done. So that's something you have to be careful of. But when you own a mailing list, you can keep it on your PC.
It's yours.
That's right. Keep farming that for leads and sales to your heart's content, or as much as those people that you're contacting are going to let you, keep farming till they drop off. So the big thing there with those mailing lists is to keep growing them. And you're going to have natural attrition where people will fall off. The idea is to keep that growing. And if you're not having people fall off, you're not growing your list properly. You're not doing the right marketing.
Or you're not looking at your list on a regular basis.
Yep.
The point here is step one is to get people into your customer relationship management software, your CRM software package. That is the heart and soul of any sales business. Who are your potential customer list? Now, if you're just dealing with the people as they walk past, like at a Sunday market, that's fantastic. The repeat customers are the ones that come back to the next Sunday market. So you have to maintain your presence in the marketplace and be consistent with what you're doing. Everyone knows that, I think. But that sales funnel page might be just for one product that you offer. And you can have more than one landing page on your website. So if you're really interested in going further into that, book an appointment with Paul. He's kind of an expert in web page development. He's been doing it since before a lot of people we know are born. So around 21 or 22 years on the internet now. And I remember the internet really launched in Australia in about 1996.
Yeah,
it's very exciting. It's very slow.
You can set these up simply too. MailChimp is a quick one. Yep. If you set up MailChimp, you can set up a mailing list. And that's actually something we talk about in our half-day programs too. And they let you basically set up a form, and then you can put the little code they give you, put it on your web page. That form will pop up. You can have it pop up 5 seconds after people have been on your page. We can have it sitting there so they click on it and it pops up, or it can just be sitting there naturally like a normal form below the fold or, just above the fold.
Or just peeking above it so that people notice it. You'd be surprised how many people don't scroll down web pages because they don't realise there's stuff below what they can see on the screen.
And that's probably the most simplest CRM you're going to get, something like MailChimp, which is free. So if you're on a budget, that's a good place to start.
It's free for the first 12,000 or something. So
yeah,
if you've got 12,000 on your list, it's a fairly substantial list anyway. That's cool.
And you'd definitely be able to afford the next level up once you get there.
That's true.
If you want to take it further and look at something that's really serious about doing mailing lists, landing pages, and CRMs, look at Entreport. Entreport is definitely one of the stronger ones.
We deal with that in our half-day and two-day workshops. Entreport. Yeah. So number two, next step, a little deeper down the funnel. So we had the big funnel. Now we're getting a little bit closer. So think of it like a filter in the neck of the funnel that filters out the crunchy bits and the good bits keep going through. So time to build a bit more trust with your prospects. So instead of just the free thing that you've offered, in exchange they've given you their name, address, telephone number, or email address and telephone number, you're now looking at something that's a little more valuable to them. So you make them a back-end offer, something that they have to sign up for that gives them an offer that's of greater value. Not something they get at that point for giving you that first bit of information. They've already got the ebook for the first bit. So the back-end offer is something that's irresistible based on what they've clicked through for, which is why you might want to have more than one landing page. The objective there is to offer something that will create desire for a point beyond the current step, to get them to click through the next step and show you a little bit more of trust, and you can do the same for them. So think of an upsell offer that they can only get if they progress past that point. And your sole objective there is to create, it's not actually to get them to buy at that point, it's to create more desire to commit to your business and your offer at that point. So a bit of psychology involved here. It's not a tit for tat. It's, do I really want this next step? Yes. Then they need to make a commitment. They need to commit to buy, or they need to commit to move forward and give you more information.
So obviously, if you're in business, you've got a product or a service that's fulfilling a need in people. So here you're really selling them on the benefits of your product. You know, how is it going to help them in their business? What is it going to do? How is your service or your product?
Absolutely. No one cares about features. It's only benefits. What's in it for me?
Yeah, what's in it for me? And why is it going to help them? You know, what is the long-term, achievement of this? Like, if you look at our software that we provide, it actually helps people reduce the amount of time they're spending in the business so they can actually pursue other things and actually have a bit of a life. So we're all about the efficiency things. So think about that when you get to that next stage down in your funnel. And if you look at a lot of existing things out there, you have like the free giveaways or the offers that they'll draw you into the store. Then they've got the the sale item, the item there that, you're going to walk out with, which is going to be $89.95 down from $199.
Yep.
Now, the reason they want to say that is that they know once they get you in as a customer and you're comfortable coming into their shop,
yep,
you're going to come back for the next item, which is $5.99, $12.99, or the Apple Mac laptop. So it's a good one.
Actually, a classic example of this sales funnel process. If you remember the old Demtel ads, with the guy that used to go, and if you ring now, you'll get a free set of steak knives and a second pillow and a pillow warmer. That's exactly what they were doing. That's sales funnels in action in a TV ad. And if you remember them, they were as annoying as hell. But a lot of the times you're thinking, that's a pretty good deal. I might sign up for that. I know I got suckered into it a few times. And I ended up with, I think I bought one pillow and got 5. I think that was a pretty good deal. I had fresh pillows for a while.
And these things can be, they can be 1, 2, or 3 steps.
Yep.
They can be 5, 6, or 7. You can have all your products laid out in different stages, and they ramp up in price. So it depends on what you're doing.
This is simple sales funnels. We've only got half an hour. So step 3. Oh, sorry.
Message from Susan. Where does step 2 go? Is it on the freebie or is it on the follow-up email? Step 2, it's the lead-in for your follow-up email. So once you've got the freebie in, yep, and they're in your mailing list, then you'd put the offer to them. Okay, coming up next week, we've got this workshop, or coming up, yep, this month, we've got this special half price on this service or this product. So that's what your next email is, your stage 2. And then you'd send them all out. So all the new people that come into your list, you'd send that out. And obviously, the longer people are in your list, you can't keep sending them the same offer and over and over again. So you have to track that. So that's where a decent CRM actually comes into play.
Actually, I signed up for one of these things just to see what would happen. Classic sales funnel from a US business consultant. And after 27 emails promising new things, I got a little tired of the process because we still hadn't got to the point. And I thought, this guy's running an experiment to see how much people will tolerate before they just pull the pin. And I'm probably right on that. But he just had a new offer every day. And I'd go, oh, great, another email from Gary Phil saying, I think I'll just ditch that one. But I was watching it for a while, and you see the same thing. It's exactly this process. There was an ebook, there was a freebie, there was a special offer, there was a seminar that I could attend in Texas if I really wanted to get there, which is going to be hard. It just kept coming and coming. So at some point you have to ask people to commit to the sale, which is step 3.
Step 3, upsell the offer just accepted. So you can see who gets stuck at this point. So the upsell is, okay, you're coming in at the gold level, but we have the diamond level coming in after that. And you get these extra benefits and extra features. And so obviously you're going to pay more for it. So this is your upsell. This is, would you like fries with that?
And it maximizes your order value for no greater effort on your part. Everyone knows that you buy fries with that and it's an extra $2.50 and that costs about 8 cents to produce. So the upsell to that diamond level increases the value of your sale and increases your profitability probably somewhere between 200 and 500% by the simple fact that you're already processing one order, you're just processing a bigger order, and you're offering something that's not costing you a great amount of money, but allows you to improve the value perception of that particular sale massively.
So on saying that, you might also find some people are hesitant to go on to step 2, and you haven't got them to step 3 yet. So you can also have a step down. You can have a payment plan on your product.
So we go from gold back to silver.
Gold back to silver. So you've got a lower offer. So you can pick up those people that wouldn't buy you on 2, but then you've got, you overcome their objections, and whatever objections they might have of your product, you need to obviously have thought about it and have your things there. And that's something we talk about in our more extended workshops as well.
You can't think of that downsell as a failure. What it is still collecting a customer who's actually committed to the sale. If you guys remember from a few webinars ago, we talked about how many people actually commit at the point of sale on online sales, and it's around 3%. So giving an upsell and a downsell at that point might increase you from 3 to 5 or 3 to 10% completion rate, because a lot of people get to the shopping cart point and they go, checkout, I'll get back to that. And only 3% of those sales ever go through. So your sales funnel's working, you're just making it a little more efficient, adding Teflon so the stuff goes through a bit faster. And
it's actually interesting, if you look at some of the more advanced sales funnel packages out there that you can buy, they've got really good sales funnels themselves.
Yes.
So if you look at ClickFunnels, which is probably the premium, it is the creme de la creme of all the sales lead pages and things like that. If you go to click away before you finish the sale, they'll get a pop-up straight in your face.
Are you sure you want to leave right now?
Are you sure you want to leave right now? We'll discount the price by 50% and we'll let you put it on payment plan over 10 years. And it's probably an extreme example.
Bit of an exaggeration, but yeah.
But the idea is, okay, if the price is a problem, we're willing to cut it back. So it's always good to check, move away from the thing and see if they have a deal that they're going to take you through to.
What happens at that point, though, is that your customer's relieved that they've made a decision to get more value. If they've had to downstep, they still wanted the product. They actually clicked on things through to this point for a reason, or they've been in contact with you up to this point for a reason. They wanted the product. They've now got an opportunity to get the product, not quite the service level or the standard level that they wanted, but they've still got the product that they wanted, and they can then become comfortable with that price point. And who knows, you can upgrade them at another point. But you get another chance at that. Step 4.
Step 4, that is the downgrade. That's what we just talked about.
Downgrade option. Step 5, sorry. Keep it going. So once they've made that decision, my bad, it was step 5. They've made that decision. Keep making offers to the greater public. That's common sense. And keep making offers to the people you've already got in the system. Once they're in the funnel, they should continue. If they've made a commitment to you and your customer service is right and your product is right, they should continue to purchase from you. So you lock them into a 12-month installment plan or a 12-month payment plan, so they buy the same product every month without thinking about it. You do this with your phone bill and your power bill anyway, so why wouldn't you do it with the services, particularly software services that are a benefit to you? It used to be that milkmen and bakers did the same thing. They'd come around to your house and they'd deliver the milk. The expectation was that you'd continue to buy the same amount of milk and you'd pay at the end of the month. It's no different. Nothing is new under the sun. Whether you're selling a service online or whether you're selling a service to people that's a physical service, it's still the same principles. We haven't changed that much.
And it's something you need to plan out. You need to look about how you're going to work this out through a 6 or 12-month period. Yep. At least you need to have some sort of plan in there. So you need to have your step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And yes, it's really not rocket science. It is not that overly difficult to plan it out. Implementation, depending on how you do it, can be difficult if you go the budget route. If you use some of the more advanced services out there.
They'll give you prompts on what to do next.
You'll pay a bit more for it, but it'll be a lot easier to set up. And then obviously you can go to an agency that can actually do a lot of that for you.
So outsource it. If you're not good at this, outsource.
But the main thing is you've got to keep the momentum going, and that's where the planning is really important. You set a plan out, you set dates beside it, and your sales funnel should have a step-by-step process where you take all your customers through, and you should be able to see exactly where they are in that funnel. And once they get into that loop back where they're constant customers and they're buying an ongoing service from you, they're an easy sell. Why? Because they're dealing with you already. Yep. They know who you are. They trust you. They've bought from you before. And as long as you're giving them good value for their money, they'll keep buying from you.
To lock that process in, consider offering something like a rewards program to enable regular followers or regular buyers to follow up and contact with you to stay in touch with them. So a reward program works. The other benefit of locking in customers on a 12-month payment plan is you've then got an income stream that you can point to when you start to monetize your business and use it to purchase things that you need to either further your business or to further the quality of your lifestyle. So you can go to a bank and say, look, I've got all these customers who have signed up to a 2-year contract at $100 a month, and I've got 3,000 of them, so I've got $300,000 a month coming in. Is it okay if I buy an investment property at this point? And the bank goes, oh, future revenue? Yeah, sure. But if you're living hand to mouth month to month, bank's going to look at you slightly differently. Yep. Still, if you're pulling in $300K a month, the bank's probably still going to fall over themselves. That was a bad example.
Nurture the customers who have purchased, like we just said, looking after them, making sure you're offering extra value. If you have, like we are in Brisbane here, there's quite an active group of networking people happening around.
Yes.
So we've got very active meetup groups happening. But you can also do something extra on top of that. If they're a regular customer and they're already paying with you, move them into their own exclusive group. You know, somewhere if you haven't paid, you're not in there. So then it gives them a little bit of prestige that they're hanging around with the people who are obviously spending money on their business as opposed to those that are just tire kickers and aren't doing it.
Yep.
And it gives them a little bit of prestige, like I said.
Everyone wants to be part of an exclusive group. Seriously. If you don't think so, think of the time that you tried to join a club, if you have, and they told you you didn't fit their criteria. You got a bit angry.
Now, again, with the people that didn't buy, back at step one, refarm them.
Start them again.
Start them again. Send them another offer.
The seed didn't sprout.
A little bit.
Put it back in next to another one and see if they both sprout.
Just tweak it a little bit. Maybe make the offer something a little different. Look for a different pain point that they might be suffering and how your product or service can fill that pain point and do the offer that way. So just sort of, go this way, go that way, go a little bit to the left.
Talk to us about split channel testing. So if this didn't work for this particular client, as Paul said, look for a different pain point or a different thing that you can offer them. Show them a different product that does pretty much the same thing. Might just be different branding and a slightly different method of implementation, but it might suit the way they want to work their business. Continue to offer to those customers who never quite made it to that sales decision. Send surveys out to people to ask them why they made the decision not to buy. Some of them will answer you. That information, if you can put it into your CRM, is solid gold because it's stuff that you can use then to plan future programs. Yeah, have your survey set up after your step 2. Yep.
Have it set up after your step 3, after your step 4. Capture it all the way through. You don't have to survey absolutely everybody that goes through it, but any feedback's going to give you an insight into what they're thinking and why they made the decisions that they did.
And if necessary, if they've given you telephone numbers, hire someone perhaps to do telephone surveys if your product's of sufficient value to be able to do that. There's 100 ways to make sure that you've got the right information in what you offer. You may be offering a product to the market that they really needs a bit of a tweak. Figure that out. Ask your customers what they want rather than assuming that you know what they want because you may well be wrong.
Yeah, because that pool of customers at the top of your funnel is huge. Yeah. It is the broadest part of your market.
Yeah. There's 24.5 million people in Australia. Some of them will buy.
Yep. As you develop these funnels and you test them and you get more feedback from your customers and potential customers, automating these systems becomes very simple.
It also becomes really important when you've got a couple of thousand of them.
Yes, exactly. And you can automate that all the way down to your high-profile customers. Then when you can actually get hands-on, one-on-one with them and the greater value is actually brought out at that stage because if they're going to be dealing with you directly, one-on-one, that's the place where you want to seek the highest amount of value because your time is probably the most precious thing of it is to you that you have.
So you can't get any more of it.
No, exactly right.
We know that.
So there are a number of really good software packages out there. So if you want to take note on this, I recommend Entreport. It's definitely one of the better CRM systems, especially if you're running a service-based business. If you look at ClickFunnels, again, a really good product, but very premium and a lot of support for ClickFunnels as well. You'll pay probably about $250 to $300 a month for ClickFunnels. Yeah. Entreport, it's under the 100. I think that's the monthly on that one.
I think it's about $97 or something like that.
$75 US.
Yeah, $75 US works out at about $97 Australian per month. It sounds like a lot of money. Try replacing it with a person whom you have to pay $1,000 a week. Suddenly doesn't look like a lot at all. No,
an active salesperson is going to cost you a lot of money, and there's no guarantee they're actually going to work or tell you whether they're working or not.
They might spend a lot of time on Facebook doing your Facebook marketing.
Yes, Facebook marketing.
Hire that out on results.
Like all these things, you can go in and spend money and test them all yourself, or you can come along and do actual workshops. There's a number of people in Brisbane that actually do them. We run workshops on how to automate. I know I've got good friends that run workshops on how to do the marketing. Also people how to do the sales side of it as well.
Outsource.
Yes, 90 days free on Entreport.
Oh, yes, that's true. Yes, when you sign up, you get the first 3 months free. That's a really good part of their sales funnel. They hook you on the process of using it. The ones that they don't, they know that you weren't serious. The ones that they do, once they've got you for 90 days, all your stuff's in their sales funnel system anyway, so you start using it. Now, there's nothing wrong with that.
An example, a good friend of mine, she started her CRM system using MailChimp. She thought it was great. It was free. She ended up with 6,000 people in a MailChimp account. She had a lot of trouble managing the CRM side. In other words, working out who had bought what when, who had done what, because MailChimp doesn't support that. MailChimp's a mailing list system.
Yes.
It's very good to get into.
It's one specific product for one purpose.
it cost us $6,000 to get all that data moved over into Ontraport and set up. So was it cheap to go with MailChimp? Yes. Was it cheap to stay with MailChimp? No.
Was it cheap to go with Ontraport? Yes. Was it cheap to get all the data across? No. Was it worth it? Obviously, yes, because her customers are worth something like $3,000 to $6,000 each to her once they actually purchase. It made sense for her to spend the value of 2 customers to get all of the data into something where she could use it much more readily. You have to bite the bullet at some point. You can play with being in business, but at some point you have to put your foot down and say, let's just spend some money and make it work. And that point, when it comes, you'll know.
And a good thing with a lot of the online systems like Ontraport and that, you can actually plug them into the other online systems so they'll talk to each other. So you can have full automation.
He's a specialist in that stuff.
So if you've got a webinar like we have here, as you sign up for that, your email address gets added into our Ontraport account and a little note gets put in there, which webinar that you actually joined up on and the date that that happened. So we can actually know who's been on our site, who's joined up when. And that stays in our CRM system. It's basically just your email address and the date that you went on the webinar. And that's how those two would connect up and how we'd use them later on.
The whole purpose of this, guys, you have to remember, is there's an enormous pool of untapped potential clients out there. The broader public, and with online stuff, you're no longer limited to Australia. I know that Digital Go-Getters has got members in Sweden. I saw it the other night. The pool of customers who take the first step to give you their contact details will be smaller than the pool of people on the planet. The pool of customers who will then click through to the sales page will be smaller again than that. And the pool of customers who actually complete the sale will be smaller again. But once you've got to that point, they're solid gold. And if you can return them into repeat buyers, you don't have to sell them again. You don't have to spend whatever it costs you to capture a customer a second time. Once they're a customer, if you look after them, you make them a repeat customer. That's money that you've spent to develop a customer, and then when they really get to understand what your product is, they'll start advocating for you. So they will save you money if you spend money on them in the start, if you get them right. I hope that makes sense, because it's how business works. If you can get people raving advocates for your business, that's your sole objective in selling to people, is to make sure that more people buy from you. Yeah,
that's it.
That's about it. Sales funnels. I hope you got it.
Yeah, guys.
Watch it again.
Just know we have a paid webinar as well. We actually have worksheets and we actually take you through step-by-step processes. We run half-day workshops. We've got one tomorrow in Brisbane. If you want to chase it up, we'll have that link available for you. Hopefully on our offers on the right-hand side.
About setting up business systems
there we go.
Like this.
So we've still got some seats left over there. So if you want to jump in and sign up for that, there's still time to get up there, and we'll be going through a lot of this in detail.
We need to deal with the AI, speech to text. It's dropped the 2 out of how to automate your website to sell for. Maybe we need a package that's English.
Anyway, guys, so check that out. We automate and systemize things. I do not write content, as you can tell. And we've been doing this an awful long time. Anyway, we're going to leave it at that, and we'll hopefully catch you guys next time round.
Have fun. Talk to you soon.